Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Chef Jeff from Smith's, and I'm here in my home kitchen today and making a recipe you're probably all familiar with. Today we're going to do it with a little bit secret to our ingredients that just makes it over the top more than most any ingredient I think does. So these are brown butter Rice Krispie treats. So it's basically the same process of Rice Krispies that you always make. You just cook that butter for just a little bit longer, and you wouldn't believe the flavor that brings to it. Okay, so browning butter is a process that takes a little bit of patience, but I promise you it's worth it. If you've ever browned butter before, like for pasta or for, gosh, you could put brown butter in anything and it would taste good. Do it, but it takes patience and it takes a little bit of watching and making sure, because the thing with brown butter is brown butter is good, but black butter is not good, and it goes from brown to black pretty fast. So first of all, you just get some butter in the pan and just start to let it cook. Okay, and so that's what this has done. I've got one in this pot, and then it will just start to melt, and it will come down, and it will start to bubble and crackle, and that's all okay. All of the water starts to boil out of it, and then all those butter solids in there will start to turn brown. It will start to foam. And that's also a pretty normal thing, and that's what I've got going on in this pot here. If you can see that, it's started to foam up and get all brown and so good. So once your butter starts to get that foam, the foam will reside, and then it'll really start to brown at that point. At that point, you really need to watch it so that it doesn't burn. And that's what this one is at here. So this is the point where then I would add my marshmallows. So we'll just add the marshmallows in there and start to give it a stir, and the marshmallows will start to melt. Probably if you get the smaller marshmallows, they'll melt faster, but if you get the bigger ones, that's okay too. Just be patient with it, and it will eventually melt into a delicious butter brown marshmallowy glop and mess like that. So good. And that's what we're looking for, is just that melted, everything just kind of goes in the pool kind of a thing. So once you get to that point, and then is when the Rice Krispies go into the pot, and just give them a stir. But oh my gosh, you guys, I love it when I'm making cooking like this, because I always make a mess every time. You guys can probably relate to that as well. But yeah, if I'm not making a mess in my kitchen, again, I'm not cooking. So messes are okay. We'll clean that up later. That's what the dogs are for, right? Okay, so once we get that stirred together, then we go into our 13x9 cake dish that's been sprayed. Of course, all the easy stuff. This is the point where if you wanted to add some chocolate or whatever to it is fine. But you guys, I recommend just making them just plain, just so you can taste that brown butter in there, and don't add anything, at least the first time. And then the second time after that. But I promise you, you make your Rice Krispie treats like this, you probably won't go back to make them the normal way again. Just the flavor that it brings to it is so good. So you guys, that's basically it. So you get them in there and just let them set up for about an hour or two, and then just go ahead and cut them up into your squares. I'm gonna get into it right now because I keep talking about these like they're the best thing ever, and they really are. So I'm gonna dig in, and you guys go ahead and make it. And of course, you can find all these ingredients at your local Smith's. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, bye.